All right, everyone. We are back once again for another round of Bri Hunter is fucked. The irony being that Bri Hunter is not getting fucked in the traditional way as of late. I just realized yesterday that because I haven't really seen anybody since the start of the pandemic, I have not been touched by another human in 5 months. And I was saying to Al earlier that I'm thinking about making a gyno appointment just so I can get some physical affection.
It's weird living in LA without like family or friends or anything like that, right?
Yeah, or a significant other. I know you and I saw each other and we did hug, which was
twice. We saw each other twice. We hugged twice. I think that's the extent of what we're seeing.
Of the physical affection. I know, it sounds so crazy, but it's true. I'm one of those people. I'm being really careful. I don't have like a boyfriend or like a steady fuck buddy. I don't really see my friends, too often. So yeah, I was like, how sad is that I have not touched another human in that long. I actually did go to a doctor's appointment, but they didn't even touch me. I wanted them to. Like, I was like looking at Dr. Lou and I was like, please touch me, Dr. Lou. I crave it. It's so bad. But I also, I received a dick pic the other day on Instagram, which normally when I get them, I'm kind of like, ugh, like, why are you sending this to me? But because it's been so long, there was this air of nostalgia about it. Like, I was like, oh, I remember you, old friend. I remember what you used to be like.
You think COVID affected penis sending?
Definitely. I think that it's just like everything else. People have too much time on their hands. And they're just, sending out dick pics left and right. But I've always, in the last 4 years, let's put it this way. For as long as I've been putting my tits on Instagram, I've been getting unsolicited dick pics in return. That's sort of the unwarranted transactional nature of it.
Is there such a thing as a good dick pic?
I mean, if I'm dating you and we're sexting, yeah, but to just send one out like a fucking mailer for Bed Bath & Beyond is like wild.
But what if this guy's like ripped? He's got a giant dong. Does that do anything for you?
No, I don't really care what it looks like. I don't know why you're sending it to me out of the blue. And you know what's funny? Some guys are really bold and they'll just send it from their account. Like, they don't care. I think they're kind of like an exhibitionist. But I get a lot of them from like what I like to call burner accounts. So it'll be like somebody like, with 50 followers who follows 4,000 people, and like Spongebob is their profile picture. And I'll be getting a dick pic from Spongebob, basically.
SpongeBob is actually my Venmo profile pic.
Oh, God. Great. Now we know where they've been coming from. But we know who's been said. I actually thought I said earlier that you were going to file a Me Too lawsuit against me because I texted you a couple nights ago saying that I was worried about my nipples. They're not responding to stimuli. And you said, that's where I'm out. I'm
collecting all our nipple talk and putting it into a big blackmail folder. So if you ever wrong me one day,
you're gonna hire Gloria Allred and you're gonna fuck me over. I get it. Yeah. I know what you're doing. Don't think I don't know. But I was also, so sometimes I get pictures and then sometimes I get like 10, 15 second videos. And in this video, and I've seen guys do this before, I don't know if this is a thing I'm unaware of, but he's like really hard and he's like flicking it. And I'm like, are you testing for buoyancy? Like, what are you doing?
I think the flicking like kind of keeps it erect.
Oh, it's like a thing. Okay.
I think it's like a blood pressure thing. I could be wrong.
A blood pressure thing?
I don't do the flicking, but I'm imagining it, and I think that has to help.
Oh my! Well, listen, I have high blood pressure. You don't see me over here in public like rubbing my vagina and being like, no, I just have high blood pressure. I'm just checking on it. Just checking it.
No, he wants the opposite. He wants the high blood pressure in his dick.
Oh, he wants to get it like pumping. Oh, okay.
Exactly. He's getting it going.
Yeah, that's like. Speaking of,
I've heard of guys using a string around their penis and kind of keeping it tight.
Oh, yeah. When you're in porn,
small penis problems.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has problems, or I guess if you're in porn, I guess you got to kind of keep it hard for a long time. I don't know if this is true, but I heard sometimes guys put rubber bands,
Yeah,
to
especially male strippers. That's a big trick they do.
to keep the blood
Because
flowing.
because a lot of Viagra will fuck you up. So some of these porn stars and some of these strippers don't take Viagra because it'll fuck up your body if you constantly take it. So they'll do stuff like rubber bands and shit like that.
You're very knowledgeable about this for somebody who, who claims
Who
that
watches
they're
Disney
yeah.
movies?
Yeah, for someone who watches Disney movies and acts like they're so above all this, you seem to know a lot about rubber bands and erections. I'm just saying.
I love porn.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, that's like this podcast is like could be more aptly named like the Pornhub promotion network. Honestly,
No, I think I should learn the rubber band trick from a interview with what's the guy, the Magic Mike? I don't know why I don't remember his name right now.
oh, Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. I think he was on Howard. I think he was talking about it
Oh, that's
because
like
he used to be a male stripper.
yeah, I know. Probably a damn good one too.
I'm sure.
That's like one thing that I'm not into. Like if I were to go out, like for my bachelorette party, I want to go to a female strip club. I don't want to go to a male strip club. But I don't want to. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen, they have them on like Pornhub too. There's parties where girls, it's like a bachelorette party, and all the girls are like sucking the stripper's cock or like fucking the male stripper.
Oh no. That's
Yeah, and then on top of that, having it recorded and put it on Pornhub.
yeah. I don't know. Is that real though, or it's like
It's real. You can sign up for it.
I don't know. But like you're telling me that somebody actually did that, or they did it for the video.
No, they do it for fun. It's part of the party.
I don't know. That sounds like some like that to me. That's either you're doing it for the porno or you live in Florida because nothing matters and nothing makes sense when you live in Florida. So that was a Florida bachelorette party. I think
Probably. It's probably all filmed in Florida.
I just don't like. It's funny because I remember I talked about this like on my old podcast, but I don't like corny bachelorette parties. Like I don't like with like the bullshit and all this stuff. Like when you come to my bachelorette party, it's gonna be dirty, like fun. It's gonna be dirty alpha male shit fun at my bachelorette party. There's
Like
gonna
what?
be there's gonna be strippers. Like it's gonna be but no hats or no weird sashes. Like we're all gonna look whatever. We'll have our clothes off, but
What about the
no
penis
cameras.
thing? Because girls love like the penis decorations for the bachelorette party. Is that a thing you're into?
No, I don't. What? No, I don't need. I mean, I love them, but I don't need them as my straw to have a good time. That's just me. I know people are into it. I'm just like, no. I don't want to do that.
I don't like the corny weddings. That's what I'm about. I hate the weddings that look like every single other Etsy wedding,
Don't even get me started on the wedding bullshit. First of all, it's like the fucking hashtags and the, like everything has to be like a big thing. Like, how about just get fucking married and have a good party? You know? Like, I miss the
I
days.
cannot tell you how many weddings I get invited to that I shouldn't been invited to. Like, I don't know these people that well, but they invite me to it,
Yeah, I don't, it's like, I don't even mind going and I don't mind doing the whole thing. I just think that like nowadays it's like everything's overkill. Like everybody has to have like, again, it's like the hashtags and the announcements and the extras and there's like 40 parties. It's like when I can assure people when I get married, like all I want from you is to come and have a good time. It's going to be me getting married and then me throwing the rager of a century. You don't need to do a ton of stuff. You don't have to like do a ton of stuff for me. There doesn't need to be any hashtags like rhymes, rhythms, magic, leprechauns, whatever. No, it's just going to be a good old fashioned party after I get hitched. That's the kind of chick I am.
I can't wait until my extended Puerto Rican family realizes they're not invited to my wedding.
Oh no, they're invited to my wedding. I don't.
All like 100 of them.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about me is like I want to be no frills about my wedding, but I'm inviting everybody. Like I'm inviting everybody.
No, I'm the opposite. It's up to the girl. If my wife wants to invite everyone, sure, okay, that's fine. Make this your day. Otherwise, if it's up to me, it's my close friends, and if possible, lots of pot.
Oh, you want a stoner wedding because you're a stoner.
I'd love that. But the only thing is, my mom would be heartbroken broken.
Oh yeah, she would not. That would not go well. I don't think that would jive very well.
No.
Yeah, no, my family too. Like I already told my grandmother, I'm like, I was sending her wedding dresses, and she's like, all of these wedding dresses are like they have a slit up, to your vagina. Like they have deep. It's like a plunging neckline, and I'm like, yeah, because that's who I am. Like you think I'm gonna get married in some like a turtleneck? Like no, I'm gonna be me on my wedding day. I am going to be, and you know me, I can't say that I'm low maintenance in every situation, but when it comes to my wedding, I am going to be the most low maintenance bride. I'm just going to be like, fucking show up, try not to vomit on the photographer, and just have a good time. I'm not, there's not rules.
So you're getting trashed at your wedding?
I don't think I'll get trashed because I'm vain and I want to look good in my pictures, but I'm just saying that I'm not going to put that pressure on other people.
Yeah, everyone else can get trashed, sure.
I know. It's funny because my really good friend Lisa, who I've been friends with since the 6th grade, we've been friends for a very long time. She was supposed to get married this summer, but because of COVID, they had to push the wedding out a year, which I know has happened to a bunch of different people. But originally, when we were planning my trips home, I said, I'm coming home for the wedding, and then I can either come home for your bridal shower or your bachelorette. And before I even finished the sentence, she was like, come for my bachelorette. Like, I am that friend. She's like, fuck the bridal shower. I want you there for my bachelorette. And I'm like, you know what? Good choice. Because honestly, if there's one that I'm better at, it's definitely going to be the night of debauchery.
And also, bridal showers are bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I just was like, I'll send a gift and I'll send like, a videogram. But I was like, I said to her, do you even want me at your bridal shower with like all of your aunts and your grandmothers? Like, I'm like a liability at a bridal shower. You don't want me there. You want me at the bachelorette. And she agreed. So, but I am excited to celebrate her wedding next year.
Why is there no groom shower? Does that exist?
No, because men are not, what is a groom shower is what? A fantasy football draft. That's the groom shower right there.
Well, I'm about to change things.
If you have a groom shower, I'll come to it. That's for sure.
Thank you. Might be guys only, but we'll see.
That's sexist. And you know what? Now when I countersue you for the Me Too lawsuit you're going to file against me, I'm going to put that in my countersuit.
Oh yeah? Well, Al said this.
Yeah. I'm going to hire a good defense attorney. Speaking of, we were speaking earlier about like unsolicited things on Instagram. I just want to set the record straight. A lot of people have been asking me to give them my OnlyFans link. I am not on OnlyFans. That was a joke.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a joke. I don't have an OnlyFans. I'm flattered that you think I do or that you even want my link, but I am not on OnlyFans. I don't plan to be anytime in the near future, although, God only knows.
Let me ask the listeners, let me ask the audience, would you want an OnlyFans if it was completely non-nude? Bri would offer one and it's just her comedy, and she's fully clothed. In fact, more clothed than she is as usual. And, $10 a month. Would you be interested in something like that?
I think no, but we'll try it out. I know you said to me the other day, you're like, well, you don't have to do nudes. You could do ludes, which I thought you meant quaaludes, but you meant that I could do non fully nude, like implied nudes. Like I could do like sexy pictures.
It's like a sexual picture with your clothes on.
Right, and put that on OnlyFans. Probably not the worst idea, but I am hanging on by a thread with my family right now. So I think that for the sake of, my relationship with them, I'm gonna not do that. But yeah, just to set the record straight, I do not have an OnlyFans. Thank you for asking if I do, but it does not exist.
She does have a private Snapchat. So
yeah.
Ask her for that.
I do. There's a private Snap group going, which, there's a fee to join that, but we'll put that on another podcast. I was also thinking about for a few different reasons, partly because of the OnlyFans thing, but I was thinking about, webcam girls this week and how that's kind of like ever since coronavirus, that business is sort of booming because, people, aren't, speaking of not touching each other, they're not touching each other. They can't go to strip clubs. It's probably a little bit more dangerous to get an escort or a hooker than it was before because of what's going on. So the webcam industry is booming.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone can get a hooker right now. Like, that is such a risk.
Yeah. I mean, although I guess if you're desperate enough or you don't believe in COVID or whatever, or if you live in Florida, you don't care and you'll just get a
That's the
hooker.
answer. Yeah. So, have you been dabbling in the online webcamming?
No, it's been on the brain because it's sort of somebody's brought it up in my life in different ways. Like, without saying her name, Al has a new friend who is an exotic dancer who cannot work right now. And so she is now doing webcam things.
Yeah,
And
my neighbor. I met her when I moved in last year. Extremely nice person. She happens to be a stripper. And as this whole COVID thing happened, that's not an option right now. So, and she's not great with computers, so she asked me to help her set up a Cam Soda account and a StreamMate account. So I'm being introduced to this world now.
I know, and I kept saying to you, I feel like you're living inside of a porn plot. Like I'm like, oh, your hot neighbor, your hot stripper neighbor wants you to set up their OnlyFans account or what your Cam Soda account. I'm like, oh my, this is crazy. Um, but you're such a good dude.
And of course, all my friends, they hear that I'm neighbors with a stripper, and they're all like, you gotta do her, man.
Well, that's what I said too when you first told. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is like
Yeah, because you're a
every
guy.
guy's dream to have a stripper neighbor who wants help." I was like, "Oh, we're good for you, Al. You'll get touched before I do."
But here's a lesson to all the males listening right now, and call me a pussy, I don't care. But every girl doesn't want to have sex with you. That's not always the case.
You're such a sweet boy. You're so pure.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of purity, like and people who are not like Al, I have another friend. I won't say his name, but he met a porn star on Hinge, and sort of like dated / slept with her for a while. I was, of course, me. I was mesmerized by this story, but I was like, what. Like it was like he was like telling me about her, and he's like, yeah, we have a date on Friday. And as he's telling me, I'm looking at this woman's vagina because it's all over the internet. Like it's a very weird experience when your friend dates a porn star.
Yeah, because everyone knows exactly what he's getting. Yeah.
Right. Like I said to him, I was like, text me when she comes over and then I'm going to start her porn and it'll be like we're in sync, on a certain level. And he was like, no, I'm not going to fucking do. He's like, no, ew.
And you got your VR goggles and you got your
yeah. I'm
you
like,
got your
it'll be like I'm
vibrator,
there.
so it's like almost like you're going through the same exact thing.
Right. I'm like, take one for the team, dude. I'm by myself. Like, let me join in on this one way or another. But no, so he was, like they hooked up and I was like, I'm like, was it because in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's every guy's dream. But he said to me, he was like, it's really cool, but then also kind of nerve wracking and intimidating at the same time. He's like, on the one hand, like it's like amazing, but then it's also like I'm thinking about, all the people who have, seen her naked, all the people who she's done this with, like stuff like that.
Right, and everyone that has done it with her is probably way better than he is.
Well, that's what he was thinking. He was like, and then there's like this self-conscious aspect of like, oh my God, like she's so great at sex. And now I'm like, normally I think I'm good, but now I'm like, fuck, am I good? Or like to her, am I like a novice? Because if you do it for a living, you're like an expert. So
yeah, but he needs to remember that like she's just a human. She understands his situation. She's probably been through this before, so he needs to relax. He'll be fine. How'd that end up? Are they still dating?
no, I mean, I think that like occasionally they hook up, but he was like, it's not, it's not consistent. Probably because of all the things that we just talked about. But I remember one of the things that he said to me was like, he was like, yeah, like I remember, like he has mirrors in his bedroom, and he's like, when we were having sex, she like, like he's like every once in a while, like I guess like every once in a while he would like take a look in the mirror when he's having sex with a girl. He's like, but this was the first chick who like took my head and like faced it towards the mirror. And
Wow.
he was like, yeah, because that's what he said. He was like, oh, it was so hot, but also I was like, holy shit, like, what am I doing? Like, he's like, I felt like, he probably feels like a little boy. He feels like he's like 15. Sorry, I shouldn't say
I
little
feel for
boy.
him.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand the situation. I know a lot of guys that put mirrors on their ceiling.
It's funny that you say that because So I'm actually like, I'll let the audience know I'm moving next week. I'm moving to a new apartment. And I was thinking about the whole mirror sex thing because my new apartment has a big mirror that faces where my bed will be. And I kind of liked that idea. I'm like, oh, I think I'm into that. But I didn't realize. Well, I kind of knew it was like a fantasy, but now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh, people definitely talk about it,
Oh
right?
yeah, but I'm the opposite. I don't want to see myself. In fact, I like very dimmed lights. Black lights
Oh,
definitely help.
I don't, part of me feels like, God forbid I catch myself at the wrong angle, it'll be like permanently burned in my brain. And
Yeah,
I don't know if I need that, but I don't know, like part of me also likes the idea of like being able to see but also like if you can see yourself, then you know what you look like. So if a piece of hair or like an appendage needs to be adjusted at any point during sex, you have a visual and you know where you need to correct,
that's true.
mid
I think it
thrust.
just matters because if you're an attractive person or not. I don't want to see my sweaty asshole.
Well, when you put it that way, I mean, yeah, but I was also thinking about and when I was thinking about moving, I was thinking about the first place that I ever stayed when I moved to LA. So when I came to LA, I had a job lined up, but I didn't have a place to live. So and I had to be out here in 2 weeks. I had to pack up my life and be out in LA in 2 weeks. So my mother was like, I was looking for apartments and she was like, you know what, why don't you just get an Airbnb for the first month, get acclimated and then go apartment hunting when you get there. So I end up Airbnb-ing with this guy. He was like he was very attractive. He was a French guy. He had a very good job at a very ritzy hotel here in LA. And it sounded really good on paper. And
Mm.
then when I got there, it was like what is it called? Like a harem or like a what do you call it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like a brothel? I don't fucking know. It was like a sex den, whatever.
What
He
the
was
fuck?
this French guy, like he was like really into Asian chicks.
Did your mom and dad know that you were going to stay with a French guy?
They did, but they were like, "Oh, he has a good job, and if anything happens, she'll call us."
Oh,
And
that's strange.
like normally, my mom would be very nervous about that, but I think that she booked it because as her gift to me,
She couldn't wait for you to get out of the house.
she was like, get the fuck out. I don't care if you're trafficked, by Pierre, just get out of the house. But no, I think that she just was like, I remember she booked it for me as her going away gift. And so she was like, she was the one messaging him when she booked it. And so she kind of was like, oh, it's my daughter. And I guess she felt like because she talked to him, she felt comfortable, but also maybe that he would be on his best behavior. And yeah, so this French guy, so I get there, everything's fine. And then within a couple days, I realize this guy is really into Asian chicks. Like,
Yeah.
there was just a barrage of Asian women coming in and out of that apartment. I thought we were holding K-pop auditions. That's how many
Do you
attractive.
think? I'm sorry if this comes off racist. I don't think it is. Do you think they were, sex workers?
No. They were just attractive women. No, it was not like I did not get that vibe.
He just had a thing for Asians.
He just had a thing for Asians, attractive Asian women, and then they were just coming in and out of the apartment at all hours. And like I said, I felt like
This sounds like sex workers. I think you overlooked this.
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it could have been, but I didn't really feel that way at the time. But I swear to God, I was like, are we holding K-pop auditions like in this apartment? Where are all these women coming? It was like a revolving door. It was like a casting couch for attractive Asian women.
Was that why you left?
Well, I didn't have a choice. I sort of like, I paid for like a full, month and it was not, refundable. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to stick it out. And not only would he have these women in there, but they would have loud ass sex. And the apartment was set up so that my bedroom and his bedroom were right next to each other. So I could hear everything. And I was worried that my industrial strength vibrator, the magic wand, sometimes it can be loud. Like depending on the fabric of the bed, it can be kind of loud. And so I was like nervous that my vibrator was going to be too loud. Meanwhile, they're like banging like rabbits. And I'm like, oh, now I don't have to worry about my vibrator, I guess, because they're doing whatever. So,
Hey, Pierre fucks.
Pierre fucks, man. And he also had this rule where, he was like, you could not wear shoes in the apartment. The minute you walked in the door, you had to take off your shoes, which isn't really a weird rule. I mean, the streets of LA are dirty, but I just thought it was funny that like you could fuck on any surface of the apartment and that was okay, but God forbid you wear your shoes, and he was kicking you out. That was the end of it. So it was like a weird set of rules. But yeah, I don't know. That was like that was my first living experience in LA.
Have you ever thought about asking him to, get in there with them?
No, because I'm not Asian. I was like, I'm not gonna qualify, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and at that point, I was like so green. I was so new to LA. It was like, oh my God, I just want to get in and get out.
That's exciting. You're going to a new place, though. I'm happy for you.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited too. I think it'll be good. I'm like not looking. I'm like, I just hired the movers the other day. I hired the same people I hired last time. It was like these Russian dudes. So I don't know. Maybe I'll luck out and they'll send a hot Russian guy with the moving company.
Oh, that's a fantasy right there.
Yeah, I could like kill two birds with one stone. They'll move me in, and then I'll be able to be touched for the first time in 6 years.
And three birds with one stone. You'll get COVID.
And I'll get COVID. Hopefully I'll get the antibodies. I could die or I could get the antibodies. It's really one or the other. The other night, as you know, part of my MMA studies, I was watching the documentary Fighting for a Generation, which is like it's like a 20-year synopsis of the UFC. And I won't get into the nitty gritty because I know I'm not going to. Last time I talked about UFC, Al said, I was a little bored because I'm not really into UFC. And that's okay. You broke my heart, but that's okay. We won't. That's fine. But I just wanted to tell everybody that because Joe Rogan has been, he's been with the UFC for a very long time. Al.
Right. Yeah.
Almost since its like inception or its
yeah.
conception.
I don't know the UFC without Joe Rogan. They've gone hand in hand since
Yeah.
I've known about them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So they have all these old clips of him in there, and he's so young. He's practically a fetus. Like, he has hair. I never knew. I knew he had I've seen him with when the hairline has already receded, like when the hair has already started to retreat and it's like the game is pretty, the battle has been lost. I've seen him with that kind of hair, but he had a full, like a carpet of dark, thick hair in these old videos. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know he had that at any point in his life.
Yeah, I used to watch a show, News Radio he was on. It was on like TV Land or Nick and Knight or some crap, and he was on that, and he had a full head of hair in that. So that's the only reason I knew.
He was on TV Land?
Yeah, News Radio. Do you remember that show with Andy Dick and Phil Hartman?
Phil Hartman, R.I.P. Kind of.
I wasn't a fan of the show personally, but it went on a few seasons. It was pretty popular, and that was like his first starting gig when he was like doing comedy.
God, that man has done everything. But I was like laughing because I was like, when I think of Joe Rogan as a child, I just see him as a miniature version of how he is now, like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. I just think it's like the current Joe Rogan, but just shrunken down into like a 10-year-old's body. I can't see him as a kid. I can't see him any other way. So it was weird for me. Like when I think of Joe Rogan as a kid, I imagine him like 10 years old, at the lunch table, with tattoos and like a black t-shirt, educating his classmates on DMT and trying to sell them, Alpha Brain or some other on it supplement, trying to hawk his shit at the at the cafeteria.
And who else is at this cafeteria? Is there like little Alex Jones and?
Oh, that would be such a cute series if it was like, yeah, if the school was like just miniature versions of what we have now.
Yeah, it was like Muppet Babies, but all Joe Rogan people.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would love it.
All podcasters.
There's so many people who could be in it too. Like you could have like mini Eddie Bravo, like talking about insane QAnon conspiracy theories. And then you could have like, what's her name?
I think we're on to something. I think that's an idea.
Yeah, fuck. We better shut up because I don't want to. This idea is trademark. Nobody can take it. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was thinking of baby Joe Rogan, and then I promised you this episode was going to be short. I'm going to wrap it up soon. So what is the note you want to end on?
No one steal the rights to Little Rogan, because that's a show we're going to make.
Oh, yeah. Nobody can steal the rights to Little Rogan because Al and I are starting that show. So you can't steal that. Oh my God. Fuck, man. I feel like we should even cut it out because I feel like this has legs.
No, it's been said. It's been documented. If anyone steals the idea, we can use this in court.
Yeah, if anyone steals the idea, we're going to hire Gloria Allred and we're going to sue your ass. So you can't do anything with this idea. But I think that's the perfect note to part on. Don't steal our shit or we're going to fucking sue you. But okay, everybody. Until next time, the twins and I love you. We're sorry there's no OnlyFans. You're just going to have to get your fill on the podcast and on Instagram. But if the economy gets any worse, maybe your dreams will come true. And if so, I'll send you the link. But until next time, guys, we love you.
Whoa, Bri Hunter is fine.